Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and Canadian CorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. It's time for the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith's here every other week, about twice per month. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. It's a big 151st regular episode of Corvette Today.
Yeah, congratulations, Steve. You just keep racking them up. Every time I turn around, there's a couple more under the belt. And, we're going to be breaking that 200 mark here real soon, I bet.
I bet we will. And 150 episodes. There's actually 4 Corvette Today extra episodes. So we've got 155 total episodes out there for everybody to listen to.
So much good stuff, so much good content. I'd definitely check out the archives, that's for sure.
Definitely. There's some great interviews there. Well, buddy, let's start off like we always do with Corvette news and get production update from the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
All right. We did lose a week of production with the latest plant closure the week of February 20th. We went back and looked to see some of the stats there to grab some numbers. Actually, it was interesting. During that closure week, they actually show 15 cars were built on that Tuesday that the plant was closed. I don't know if they were just being able to wrap a couple ones up or how that happens, but they did show 15 done during that plant closure. But production restarted the week of February 27th. That week, we just crossed over 26,000 regular Stingrays produced. We're sitting approximately 2775 70th anniversary edition, so 2,775 anniversary editions. Closing in on that 30,000 number for the regular Stingrays. It's only March. There's still months to go for this car to be produced. Still moving right along. It's not such good news when it comes to Z06, though. I think only 74 or so were built in February. And in fact, our last count was 847 regular Z06s and 122 70th anniversary editions for a total of 969. And we've actually been there for quite a bit of while because all those Z06s built in February are actually built in earlier February. I haven't seen any production numbers for the Z06 once the plant restarted. Of course, we are recording this a little bit early. We don't really quite know what's going on with this car. It looked like things were rolling around pretty good in January, and then February came along and plant closures, and now we've got this thing going on. So really hard to say what's going on with Z06 right now.
Well, we had no February allocations at the end of the month, did we?
It keeps getting weird. So Chevy told dealers back in November, here's your order cycles for Corvette for the next 3 months. And they outlaid December, January, and February. Of course, Stingrays would happen during all 3 of those months, but the only Z06 allocations were expected February 23rd. February 23rd comes along, dealer memos go out, we start calling all the dealers, and they all come back with, well, yeah, it shows nationwide 0. No one got any allocations. Ugh. So even though they had it planned, there were 0 allocations. We got an inkling that allocations were being pushed back a week, so we checked again in March, early March, and again, looks like it's going to happen, and then the numbers come out and it's a 0. It's really hard to say what's going on. And the other thing too is that with no February allocations, what's going to happen in the future, because we've been hearing that some of the cars that were allocated in November are just now being scheduled and built in March and April. For Z06, we went from looking at, wow, we could do 2,500, we could do 3,000, we might even do 3,500. I think we're back to the 1,500, maybe 2,000 again if we're lucky.
Right.
Who knows what's going on? The dealers don't know. Obviously, customers don't know. We're just going to continue to watch the numbers, see what happens, and hopefully we can get some news.
We'll keep our fingers crossed, though. Also, Chevy My Way had a brand new video about the R8C museum delivery. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I have not bought a new Corvette yet. I've got my eye on a certain one that begins with an E and ends with a Ray. That's the thing, is do you do the museum delivery? Do you just pick it up at your dealership and drive it home from there? Both offer some interesting ways to go with it. What this did was they call these the Corvette expert sessions. It's only a 5 or 6 minute video that they did, but it's behind the scenes at the National Corvette Museum. We watched a father and son actually took delivery of their Stingray. So the father got his Stingray, the son got his Stingray. Of course, our friend Mike Furman at Criswell set all this up to put it in motion, and he's in the video just sitting there in the background watching. But you get all these great perks, museum delivery, you do a tour, you really get a lot of hands-on time with your person showing you how to work everything, how to set everything up, program everything from radio stations to how the PDR works to taking the top off and how it stows in the trunk. Really, it's a hands-on experience, especially for people that might want just a little bit more time in learning the car before they're just handed the keys and thrown out the door. It's a great experience. Of course, you get also a free 1-year membership to the National Corvette Museum. You can do now at least a public tour over at the museum while stuff's going on. Really great stuff. The RAC Museum delivery only adds $995 to the cost of the Corvette, but really the experience is unmatched. So if you haven't seen that video, if you've been thinking about, well, gee, should I do an RAC delivery? Definitely check out that because it'll kind of show you some of the fun stuff that happens.
It definitely will. And it's a lot of fun. It's worth the $995. Also, Keith, we're seeing pricing on C8 Corvettes coming down.
Well, it only took 4 years, right?
That's right.
Really, when you think about it like that, we are in our 4th model year for the C8 Stingray. So we've been following this guy on YouTube. He's called 4-Wheel Trader, and he's got a website that's dedicated to understanding market conditions for all kinds of vehicles. He's been watching that secondary C8 market since 2020. What he's able to do is he imports cars from like Auto Trader. From there, he's able to analyze like the model, the pricing data, how many miles they got. From there, he can see where the market might be headed. Today, he's showing, these average prices are down as much as $21,500 for convertibles and $18,500 for the coupes from the July 21st high, which is when the market was really hot. And again, he says the days of buying a new C8 Corvette Stingray and driving it for several thousand miles and then selling it for either the same price or maybe even more, those days are probably over. You just got too much inventory out there. He's also saying that based on what he sees from these imports, he brought in like 2,500 vehicles from Auto Trader to get this data. But at the market peak of July 2021, it would take just real quick, 10 days to sell a car. At today's market, he's showing up to 55 days. So, you're looking at now 2 months as opposed to a week and a half. He even says those cars then that are waited that long generally will see a discount as they are brought down another 3 to 5% in cost so that they can move that way. It's just the maturity of the market. There's a lot of them out there. We've got a lot of cars now with miles on them. I've seen some C8s that have 50, 60, 70,000 miles on them now. Of course, we are going to see some reductions in the overall values of the car going forward.
Yeah, I've got 1,100 miles on my C8.
Yeah, that's good. And a whole bunch of carbon fiber.
And a whole bunch of carbon fiber indeed. Also, buddy, we had a couple awards for the Corvette, for the C8. First of all, the Loyalty Award from S&P Global Mobility was the first on the list.
Yeah, they've been doing these automotive loyalty awards for 27 years now. The Corvette ranked first in the luxury sports car category. It is actually the second time it's done that in a row. And in fact, General Motors would be the overall winner of the loyalty to a manufacturer category. So people love General Motors, which sounds kind of strange. I know, we're all Chevy fans or we're this kind of fans, but to be fans of General Motors, I don't know about that much. But each of these cars did really well. So there was actually 4 other Chevrolets that ranked first in their divisions. We had the Equinox, the Tahoe, the Silverado 2500, 3500, and heavy-duty pickups. And actually, the Chevy Bolt did great in the small car category as well. People do love their Chevys, and it's definitely showing up.
That's really cool. I like that. Also, Corvette won the J.D. Power 2023 Canadian ALG Residual Value Award. That sounds pretty prestigious.
Anything from J.D. Power, I always think is sort of like the gold standard of surveys and how they do it. So they've got this residual value division called ALG, and they measure 272 different model lines from the 2023 model year. So all these different vehicles. And then they also look at stuff like used vehicle performance, brand outlook, and product competitiveness to come up with how their rankings go. Corvette does very well there, but it's also Chevy Silverado ranked, the GMC Savannah, Buick Envision, and the Cadillac CT5 all won their categories in the Residual Value Award. People get these cars, they enjoy them. These cars are holding their values. It's all good news there. And again, some of this stuff might be a little bit skewed just because we came through that market where no one could get new cars, and then the used car values went way up high, but people wanted the new cars. There was a lot of moving parts going on there, but J.D. Power, like I said, is sort of the gold standard for customer surveys, and so they're really able to neck down and find out what people are thinking.
That's really cool. Well, buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, it's Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors up next on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability, and it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum and we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette, including front splitters, side skirts, engine appearance panels, engine fluid caps, door holders, trunk and front props, and more. Plus, we now carry the C8 Speedline side skirts, along with the engine appearance package and the high wing. Give us a call at 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be with American Hydrocarbon.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Every other week, we keep you up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. In this second segment, we always talk Corvette Racing and Corvette rumors. First of all, Keith, in Corvette Racing, the C8R is going to face some internal competition from GM at Le Mans. Tell me what's going on with that.
Yeah, when we say internal competition, we're talking about the competition for our attention. This Le Mans is going to be a little bit different for us, what we've seen in the past, even with COVID. We've got just one C8R that's probably going to run, and that's going to be the car coming over from the World Endurance Championship that'll be competing at Le Mans this year. GM, though, will have this new car called this Garage 56 NASCAR racer, and it's going to be racing as an exhibition. Of course, I think we've talked about the Garage 56 car before. For us, it's another Chevy V8 powered car to root for. But as we dig into this car a little bit more, I just think it's just a little bit more fun. I'm a casual NASCAR racer. I don't watch every single race. What we have here is they took this car. I think they're called the Gen 2 racer cars now, the next gen racer cars. But they really had to beef it up, but yet also slim it down and get it ready for Mons, where they race at nighttime. And NASCAR racers generally don't have headlights, so we had to fix that one. It got some real working headlights. It got some serious aero, like a 2-inch tall rear spoiler. It's got front canards. They actually increased the fuel cell to 32 gallons. It's wearing ceramic brake rotors like the Z07 package on our Z06s. And then under the hood is a 5.8 liter small block V8. And guess what? Is unencumbered, unaffected, and I don't want to say it's unrestricted, but no BOP on that car because it's an exhibition car. They basically get a run at whatever pace they feel like they can handle. The car weighs in at under 3,000 pounds. It should be a fun car to watch.
Yeah, that will be really fun to watch. I'm anxious to see what's going on with that. Also, Corvette Racing's Jordan Taylor, you had mentioned this, but he's serving as the coach for the guys at Garage 56 for Le Mans, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's 3 racers that'll be driving at Le Mans. It's going to be Jimmy Johnson, Mike Rockenfeller, and F1 champion Jenson Button are the 3 drivers of the Garage 56 racer. Jordan has kind of made himself available. He actually showed up at one of the practices with a shirt that said coach on it. He's been there 9 times, so he's got a lot of experience. What are some of the rule changes that people might not know about, some of the different ways that things are done differently at Le Mans. So he's really there. He calls it more of a consultant than a coach. He's able to bring that perspective of a winning driver at Le Mans to these guys. I think Mike Rockenfeller's raced there a few times as well, but I think this is Jimmy Johnson's first time and maybe Jenson Button's first time as well. Whenever you involve Jordan Taylor in anything, you're going to have a fun experience on social media. There's already a video out there with his alter ego, Rodney Sandstorm, talking about building trust with the Garage 56 teammates. And it kind of cuts to a dance sequence from Dirty Dancing, where he put the faces of the drivers on a couple characters and then they dance together. Quite funny, as Jordan always is. He's actually got to drive the car. He made some observations about like the steering wheel controls and stuff like that when he was at Daytona. And he said when he was at their second test at Sebring, all the stuff that he kind of talked about was already implemented in the car. And he says development, it's a little bit more old school than where we are today, just because there's no BOP, developing a car. So a lot of it's just based on what the driver feedback is. And then those changes are made based on driver feedback. It's an exciting little project going on here. Hendrick Motorsports is fielding the car. Everybody's getting their taste of Le Mans, but they're bringing these championship caliber people to do it. So that's why I think the Garage 56 car is going to be quite exciting at Le Mans this year.
And it's always a good time when you got Jordan Taylor involved as well.
Yes, it is.
In the rumors category, Keith, GM is patenting a noise-canceling sound system?
This is kind of interesting. So what they've done is they're using like a combination of sensors to determine how the sound be adjusted for passengers in a car. So you take the top off or you put the top down. Obviously, the sound characteristics within the car change. It could be like, oh, you put the top down, maybe they automatically bumps up the radio a couple notches if you were listening to the radio. But also it could be this high-tech system might monitor and hear sounds like approaching fire trucks and be able to drop the sound so that people hear those sirens and things like that. What it really is trying to take the sound conditions in the cockpit and maximize them for the driver and giving that driver the information that they need. Pretty interesting concept. You take the T-tops off the old 68, you just turn the stereo up, but now we expect everything to happen for you. I guess that's where we are with technology these days.
Technology is a good thing, I think, right?
But don't be messing with my radio, man.
Exactly. Also, this was really, really big news. Have we found VIN number 1 from the 1953 Corvettes? Has that actually been found?
It's an exciting story. It surely seems like there is very much credence to this story as well. Some of the NCRS people that have been working on this for quite a while. Everything that we know about the first production 1953 Corvette might be wrong. The quick history was that the first 2 cars came off the line, VIN 01 and VIN 02. They were destroyed in engineering tests, and one was burned, and I don't know what happened to the other one. But supposedly VIN 01 was burned to the ground to see how it would do in a fire. There's supposedly documentation that supports that story. However, there's also now this new documentation that suggests that when these first 2 cars came off the line in 1953, they were giving Chevy engineering numbers, and then Chevrolet used these engineering cars to make improvements to the 1953. Now that they had completed cars, what they did with that first car is they took it out to one of their engineering centers and had engineers drive it, test it, look at it, and then say, what would you do differently? What would you change? And so from that, they came up with these 22 line items to make changes to. The story really jumps around, but it turns out that there's a car that had been parked in Oklahoma at a restoration shop, and it had been pretty much abandoned by its owner, been sitting there for 20 years. But this car had some really unique characteristics on it. It had like a fuel filler door from the 1954 models. It had some changes done to where the seats are mounted and stuff like that. Well, lo and behold, Corey Peterson, this guy that now owns this car, working with some of his NCRS buddies, they got these documents from the Heritage Center, and it shows this engineering car number 3950, which was the VIN 001 car, receiving these changes, lower the seats, do this, do that, put a new fuel filler door on it. Lo and behold, all those changes that were tracked in these documents are found on this car that had been parked in Oklahoma. There's some more coming out about the story. I guess there's another video that had just come out. Supposedly there's going to be a documentary made on the car. The experts really have to buy in that, wow, this could be the VIN 001 car. We want to see NCRS and Bloomington Gold get involved somehow and be able to really take a look at it and hopefully be able to apply what they know about it. But it's exciting times, to think that that car had been lost forever. Now that it's there, that's real exciting.
That's big news. That's really big news. We'll have to keep following that story for sure and report back.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also, is there a new video of a supposed 2025 C8 Corvette that we are thinking is going to be Zora?
Yes and no. Yes, there's a video, but the car doesn't exist. In fact, this is a guy named Brian Mello who's got a YouTube channel. And what he did was he used an artificial intelligence image creator to generate a sports car that he thinks the Corvette Zora might look like. What he did was he blended all kinds of the latest C8 Corvette, including E-Ray, and then also tied in exotic sports cars, Koenigseggs for reference points. It's real low. He tells the AI to increase performance, and then, it comes back. It looks much lower. It's wider. From there, when he got that final image, he jumped into Photoshop and did even some more cleanup on it. The title of the video is called the 2025 Corvette Zora. Would you buy one? The comments on our site were off the charts. People loved the car, saying they would. No talking price, obviously, but I think it's safe to say that based on where we are with the Z06, that the Corvette Zora could be Chevy's first $200,000 sports car.
Probably. Well, buddy, let's take our final break. When we come back, it's the lighter side of Corvette coming up next on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Yogi Berra once said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there. At True Wealth & Company, we take that to heart. See, at True Wealth & Company, we believe your retirement lifestyle travels through two doors. Door number one, the blue door, gives you more options, financial freedom. Your money outlives you. Every happiness you wish for in life is through the blue door. Door number two, the red door, is where you outlive your money. You rely on family, friends, or even the state to take care of you. At True Wealth & Company, we're not just financial planners. The best way to walk through the blue door is to have a written plan. Make a work-optional lifestyle a reality with our proprietary True Life Map formula. Look towards your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Having a rock-solid fiduciary partner like True Wealth & Company is essential to effective financial planning. There's no winging it. There's nothing left to chance. Look, we don't want you to become another Yogi Berraism. Give us a call today at 913-653-TRUE. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Start your financial independence and work-optional lifestyle today.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com. Learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me every other week is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Don't forget, if you want a deeper dive into any of the stories Keith and I talk about, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this final segment, we talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, Edmunds had a unique U-drag, and that pitted the C8 Z06 against the McLaren 765 LT. How did that turn out?
Well, for the McLaren, it turned out pretty good. This is a cool race. So Edmunds came up with this way to test, instead of just straight line performance speed from a dig or from a roll race, why not also combine everything, including some high speed G-turn? What they did was they came out with this, what they call the U-drag, where you start from a standing stop, you race down, you have to go around a pylon and then basically come back. From that, you get standing quarter mile, a rolling quarter, a braking test, and a high G corner all together. Of course, the McLaren lighter, both cars launched. The Corvette Z06 might even have gotten just a little bit out in front, and then the McLaren just takes off. The Corvette did shine on that high-speed G corner, taking it faster than the McLaren did, but the McLaren was already gone, and in fact, I think it beat us by like 1.6 seconds overall. It just really goes to show what weight does to a car. Had our car been a little bit lighter, we might have been there, but that engine just shines in the McLaren. It just, bam, it was gone. It just effortlessly walked away from the Z06.
Interesting. Also, we saw the first 2023 Z06 on Bring a Trailer. Wow.
Yeah, this one's generated quite a bit of comments from people. Seller is a Connecticut-based Chevy dealer. They listed a 70th anniversary Z06, no Z07, just a straight Z06, for auction on the website. We're still waiting for the final total, but it's already over $220,000. The selling dealer is Loman Blasia Chevrolet, located in Waterbury, Connecticut. Because they're selling it, they're able to sell it on an MSO, which means that the buyer should be able to get the warranty for the car. Of course, if you're on a list for a Corvette at Loman Blasia Chevrolet, they sold 62 last year. So, they do have quite a bit of a customer base. It's just a really bad look. Again, they go after customers for selling their cars. They don't do anything about the dealers to rate them in. People are sick of it. Now we're just seeing example after example of these dealers with their dealer stock orders right in our faces.
Yep.
And nothing is being done about it.
I know. It's not good. It's not good at all.
And you know what? You'll talk to other dealers. I talk to my dealer friends, and they'll say that auctioning a car is against the franchise agreement.
Oh.
There it goes, right?
Wow. Well, we'll see if any repercussions come to that dealership in Connecticut. That's interesting.
Right. Well, here's what might happen is the buyer of that car takes it overseas, and then that screws the dealer.
Yes.
They sold that car to a broker that took it overseas.
Yep.
That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing at all. Speaking of dealerships, we had some thieves steal a C8 Corvette and some other automobiles, and this was at a dealership in North Carolina.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if there's a ring run around, because we also had a break-in a few weeks back at the Rick Hendricks City Chevrolet at Charlotte. So now we've got this. This was a Capital Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lexington, North Carolina. And the security footage shows 4 guys breaking in. They're inside. They know exactly where to go. They actually make 2 trips. They were there at 2:30 in the morning. They grabbed 4 cars, and then they came back and grabbed 3 others. They got the 2 Corvettes, a 2015 and a 2020, 2 ZL1 Camaros, a BMW 3 Series, a BMW X5, and a Dodge Charger.
Wow.
They might not work there, but they certainly knew their way around the dealership based on what we saw from the security footage. And, a lot of dealers, they have their lots open. I think we're going to see a lot more of them having to add security fences or other gates to keep people from driving cars off overnight. It seems like to me there might be a ring going on in North Carolina of stealing these new cars.
Something's going on, and it ain't good. Also, Keith, we just talked about Edmunds doing the unique U-Drag. Well, Top Gear pitted the C8 Z06 against a Ferrari, a 458, and the Porsche GT3. How did that one turn out?
It's Top Gear team out of the UK. They were over in the United States testing these cars. So it was a regular left-hand drive Corvette Z06 that he was driving. It was interesting because with the Ferrari 458, that's the inspiration for the Z06. And then the Porsche GT3, that's the rival for it. It's neat how they put that together. To hear the 458 and then you hear the Z06 driven, and he actually talks about how, the engineers for Chevrolet, how they tore down a 458 engine that they bought. They made no bone how much they thought how good that car was, how good that engine was, and how much they wanted to emulate that sound. Very complimentary there. Great scenery. It's out in the American West driving around. Then there's a little bit of some track coverage there as well. So yeah, if you're interested in any of these cars or you just like to see these supercar comparisons, it's a good one. Top Gear magazine always does a great job. So definitely pull that one up.
Also, Keith, we were going to report more on this on our next news and headline show, but last weekend on Friday, the Cunningham Corvettes from Le Mans in 1960 were back together for the first time since 1960. That was a great show, and we'll have more on it coming up in our next news and headlines.
It's been such a long journey for those 3 cars. The first one, number 2, Bruce Meyer's collection, he's had that. The number 3 car was found by Kevin McKay in the early 2000s, I think it was. That was a part of the Chip Miller collection, and that car actually got sold to a friend of ours. And then this car was actually the number 1 car, was the 3rd to be found. Actually was found across the bay here in St. Petersburg in an old warehouse. From there, it just went through this journey of all these claiming ownership, fighting over it. It all came to an end when the judge ordered the car sold. And the neat thing about it was when they sold the car, sold at Amelia Island, and the buyer, was it the grandson, I believe, of Mr. Cunningham that took the cars there? So really a neat story. It kind of goes full circle, and to see these cars back together again and all 3 of them. They're little unique changes, the red, white, and blue headlight covers and things like that. Pretty exciting stuff, and can't wait to see these cars in person.
I know, this is going to be a great time. Well, Keith, thanks for being back on Corvette Today. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Sounds great. Congratulations again on number 151, and here's to many more.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com, True Wealth and Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels, get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.